Here we are together again on the radio. I am looking at a syndicated advice column called Ask Amy. And the letter goes like this. Dear Amy, one of my dearest friends has been married for almost a decade to an emotionally abusive man. Nothing she does is quite good enough to please him, even though she is kind, intelligent, a great homemaker, a successful professional, beautiful, and fit. These two have been having serious difficulties for more than half of her married life, but the husband absolutely refuses to see a marriage counselor. On many occasions, he has told her that he wishes he had never married her. They have 2 young children. By the way, if she's been having difficulties for the last half of her married life, why did she go out and have 2 young children? That's right, boys. It's because she obviously likes being treated like crap and thinks a guy like that make good parent. I mean, think about it. If she's had this problem for more than half her married life, let's say she's been married almost a decade. All right, let's call it 10 years. 2 young children would probably put them under 5 years old, and that would mean that she's been having children during the period of time that her marriage has been going downhill. Why'd she do that? As usual, the woman is the victim and had nothing to do with this. She goes on to say, my friend believes that it is always better for children to have 2 parents in the home, even if the parents are miserable, than to be raised by a single parent. That's her primary reason to stay married. Her ability to support the children is not even an issue. I worry about her and the children's safety should the abusive treatment ever escalate to something physical. Amy, would you kindly ask your many thoughtful readers, particularly those who might have grown up in the type of household I've described, to provide their insights? Well, we don't have time to wait for Amy to ask the readers to write in and then wait for their responses. We just don't have time for that. We are here in the digital age of the 21st century, and we need answers now on this. Now, my opinion, number 1, if somebody is abusive, you should not have children with them. Isn't that obvious? Well, apparently it's not obvious to many people who are in abusive relationships. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, if your relationship is going downhill, having children is not going to put the brakes on the problem. It's not going to stop it. Why did you have those kids if your marriage was going downhill? If you had 1 child and the marriage started going downhill after that, why'd you have a 2nd child? Why? Stupid, stupid, stupid. I don't believe that being in a home with an emotionally abusive or physically abusive person is ever an option, especially when there are children involved. Honestly, I think if somebody is abusive, you need to get out. Going to a counselor is not going to help because that person needs help on their own. By the way, you need help on your own, too, if you got into a relationship with an abusive person. But I don't think marriage counseling is the kind of help you need. You need your own help. He needs his own help, and the 2 of you need to live at different addresses. There's no 2 ways about it. I do not believe that people should stay together for the sake of the kids. Because I don't believe you're doing the kids any favors at all. Now, there was a time in this country when being divorced was a stigma, and kids had to explain to their friends why their parents weren't together anymore, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? More than half of us now are getting divorces anyway. Plenty of kids at school are the product of divorces. They are living through divorces. Mommy doesn't live with dad. Mommy has a new husband. Blah, blah, blah. Or there's also a lot of kids at school where mommy was never married to anybody. Mommy just banged out a kid without any man being around. There is no shame in being divorced anymore. While I think that our boys should not date single mothers, I do believe if you have children, you owe it to them to get out of an abusive relationship. Should people stay together just for the sake of the children?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Yo, Tommy, I got a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Donnie.
You need a sidekick on the broadcasting station?
No, I don't.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Sarah, hello.
Hi, how are you doing, Tom?
I'm okay, Sarah.
Great. I just wanted to let you know that I totally agree with your standpoint that when you're in like an unhealthy relationship, whether it's verbally abusive, physically abusive, or emotionally, you should definitely separate, no matter if there are children involved. My parents both had affairs while they were married and separated while I was at a young age and then divorced, and now they're both happily remarried with new lives, but they stayed friends, and I'm fine. You know, me and my brothers and sisters have grown up and have had a stable childhood, even though, you know, the divorce and the fights and everything else. But I think it really created a better atmosphere thereafter.
Yeah. I do believe that people need a dad around.
Right, of course.
But by the same token, I think that when dad is going crazy, yelling, screaming, demeaning, whatever, he's not doing anybody a favor by staying there, and your mom's not doing you a favor by keeping him around.
Correct.
I agree with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Sarah. 1-800-5800-TOM. Dante on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, what's up, Tom? How's everything going, player?
Pretty good, baby.
Check this out. About this abusive situation, I don't give a damn if there's kids involved. If the parents, excuse my language, if the parents are screwed up, I think they both should split apart. Screw the kids, because if somebody stick around, them kids going to grow up to be abusive bastards also.
That's exactly right. When kids see abuse, they repeat the pattern in many cases.
Which means a child is only going to do what their parent is doing as time goes by. If a child sees a parent drinking alcohol, they're going to do that. If a child sees a parent doing drugs, more than likely they're going to do it too.
No doubt about it.
It has to start somewhere.
Yeah, I think people should, number one, not have kids before 25. Two,
that's right.
Not get.
I got no children.
Yeah, not. And by the way, then when they get married or get together, should not have kids for 5 years
until they are ready.
Not just ready, but till they know that they want to be together.
That's right. They have to be real, real, real sure, because there's a lot of unsure people around here.
There's no doubt about it.
And I'm not one of them because I ain't got no damn kids. And I don't want none of them little bastards either.
Look at you. Thank you, Dante. Oh, I love that. 1-800-5800-TOM and on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's up, Tom?
Not much, Ed.
I work in law enforcement. I see this crap all the time. The woman always goes back to the man no matter how bad it gets. It's disgusting.
Uh-huh.
The man, it starts with the verbal abuse, and it just goes from there. And the kids are going to be so screwed up by the time they leave the house that you can't do anything with them.
I'm sure that's true.
The cycle just keeps going.
But I love him!
Exactly. They'll beat the crap out of them, put them in the hospital. As soon as the woman gets out of the hospital, back to the man. And the kids sit and watch this. And when the kids grow up, the cycle continues.
I know you're right, Ed.
And these kids they don't get the therapy they need after seeing it. So it just keeps going and going and going.
No, they just keep repeating the behavior of their parents or their grandparents, and it goes on and on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These women need to smarten up and realize the signs. It starts with the verbal abuse. Then it just escalates from there. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, and it just keeps getting worse. It starts with the mother, then it transfers down to the kids.
Ed, you are right. Thank you for the call. Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Listener, first time call.
Cool.
Are you there?
No, I left the room.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God, I made your biggest mistake. I just wanted to say I don't want to be a martyr for the cause. As a 23-year-old, I've been telling my parents since I was about 4 years old that I'd be okay with them getting divorced. And they're still together, and they're dependent. And I think the only reason they're together, nobody else would take.
Because why?
Because they survive each other because they overlook each other's problems. My dad's an alcoholic, and my mom so many where to start, and nobody else would deal with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you?
Yes, we heard it, but I understand what you're saying, Michelle. It's Dana on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
I just want to, I usually don't agree with you, but I think as far as this subject matter, I do agree with you. I think they shouldn't stay together just because they have kids. I mean, you're torturing these kids if you're staying in an abusive relationship.
Well, I think that's true. I really don't think you're helping them at all.
Oh, definitely, but on the same token, I think a lot of people do stay together because of their kids.
It's the stupidest thing you can possibly do. By the way, another stupid thing is getting married because you got somebody pregnant.
Well, I don't think that's stupid. I'm just...
Oh, yeah, that's stupid, too.
Yeah,
because that's not a reason to get married. The reason to get married is because you love somebody.
Right, and I think some guys want to do the right thing because...
But it's not the right thing. We have to get rid of that phrase, doing the right thing, because it's not the right thing.
Okay, but me and you might think it's not the right thing, but I think half of the guys do think it's the right thing.
But they're wrong.
Well, we might say that, but...
They are wrong.
Okay, so you're saying guys are wrong now.
Any guy who marries a chick because he knocked her up is wrong. Yeah. That's not the right thing.
Yeah, but wouldn't you feel right to do something like that? You get this girl pregnant. Shouldn't you marry her?
No.
Why not?
Because a marriage is a long-term commitment. If you're not in love with somebody, you should not marry them. I don't care what reason you have that you think is good. Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I think differently.
So you think people who don't love each other should get married anyway and stay together for 18 years?
Right. But as far as...
That's insanity.
Right.
Why do you think that?
I just do. I just think...
Why?
I just think it's unfair. I just think it's so unfair to her. I mean, he should step up and be a father.
No. Actually, she should step up and have an abortion. But if she won't...
How can you say that?
I say it all the time.
But how can you say that?
Not only do I say it, I've been involved in 4 abortions. I know from experience.
Okay, why not use protection?
I did. In most of the cases, in most of the cases, I did.
Okay, and she still got pregnant, but you in your right conscious mind saying, don't get an abortion, let's raise the kid.
No, on the contrary, I said, please have an abortion. We talked about it before we had sex, and you said you would have an abortion, and I want you to keep your promise. And these 4 women, who I saluted on a show recently, by the way, these 4 women...
at all? I mean, how can you say something like that? That is
very easily.
Inhuman.
Watch me. Have an abortion. See, I just did it again.
Okay, that is so inhuman. I mean, how can
no, it's not.
Be with you when you say something like that?
Thankfully, they're not with me anymore, but they had the abortion. They kept the agreement.
That's ridiculous. How can you tell someone, we're going to have sex, but you're going to have an abortion if you have a kid?
She didn't have to have sex with me if she didn't want to.
Okay, I mean, as far as the matter,
right? I mean, if I say that, you now have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm not having sex with you, right?
Right. And
all right, well, these girls had sex with me anyway.
What kind of girls are you with?
Girls who put out.
I see, because I know I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't be with you.
All right, but you would have the option of opting out once you do that.
Right, and that's why
By the way, if you think abortion is wrong, why are you fornicating?
No, I'm just saying,
I'm asking you, if you think abortion is wrong, why would you have premarital sex?
Right, and that goes back to...
Wouldn't somebody who's against abortion also believe that premarital sex is wrong?
Things happen sometimes, but you...
No, they happen when you make them happen.
Hey, but you telling someone have an abortion or out. I mean, what if she doesn't? Let's ask you that.
There's nothing I can do about it. It's a woman's right to choose.
You're not going to step up and be a dad?
Nope.
Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Like 10,000
I have already made the following announcement on the air, and I want you to hear it. I have said on the air that every man listening could have a child out there. Every man. Every man has been sexually active could. But I said, anybody who went out and had a baby without telling me about it, do not send your kid to my front door. Because I am not going to have any joyous reunions with him, her, or otherwise.
Okay, well, I don't agree with you, but as far as,
Well, again, if I don't want to be a parent, why should I be forced to be a parent?
Okay.
And by the way, the whole world knows it. It's not just that I tell women individually I don't want to be a parent. I've been saying it on the radio for a quarter century now. The whole world knows I don't want to be a parent. So now, anybody who has sex with me is fully informed before they do it. Right?
Right, that's fine.
They can all say no to me, right, dear?
Right.
They can all just say, I'm not having sex with you because if I get pregnant, I'm having the... They could say that, couldn't they?
Right.
So once they have sex with me, they know the conditions.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't agree with you most of your topics that you do have, but as
Bet you don't.
I agree with you on one topic as far as couples staying together. You know, if they're in an abusive relationship, they shouldn't because they have.
And I think people who get married merely because the one knocked up the other are going to end up in many cases in abusive relationships because you have a person there who doesn't want to be there.
I know people personally that, you know,
that don't love each other.
No, it's not even that. It's that, you know...
They don't love each other.
No, it's not even...
So they do love each other.
Yes, he does.
Well, if they love each other, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who don't.
Okay, well, I mean...
They should not get married. They should not live together.
Okay, well, that's fine. Like I said, I agree with you on most things, but... I don't agree with you on most things, but as far as, you know, people staying together for their kids, I think they shouldn't do that. So that's just wrong.
All right. Dana, thank you. 1-800, I'm getting a lot of calls about that call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Tom. I'm really glad to hear you talking about this subject. I'm a 37-year-old male, and in essence, what happened is back in the 60s when my father got my mother pregnant, they didn't want to get married or anything, and there was no abortion, so they did what they thought was the right thing, and my father's like a manic, depressive, antisocial guy, and he was abusive to my mother, and I had to grow up with this, and I had a mom who always turned to me to be her little therapist and listen to how bad my father was. So I went on to pick women who were real screwed up. When I was in my 20s, women I'd have to try and fix, and it cost me all kinds of money and heartache. And I think it's horrible. They should have got a divorce or never even got married. And they're still together to this day, and it's just nauseating. I don't talk to either of them.
Yeah.
So I have strong feelings about this subject.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I just don't think people like that are doing anybody a favor.
No. If you get somebody pregnant and it was a one-night stand, or even if you don't know them very well, just get the damn abortion. Don't get married. It's not the right thing to do.
Yeah, please get the abortion, please. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome, Tom.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Joey on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Yeah, I got married because my then-girlfriend for 6 months gets pregnant. So I did the right thing and married a chick I didn't much like, much less love.
Well, let's stop calling it doing the right thing.
Yeah, did the wrong thing.
You did the wrong thing and you got married.
Exactly. Did the wrong thing and got married. We ended up being together for 10 years. Thinking it would make it better, we planned to have another child during this time, which just made it worse. And then after about 5 years of marriage, I finally started counting down the day the youngest child would turn 18 and plan my divorce.
When is that?
I've been divorced for 5 years now.
What, it happened that long ago?
Yeah, it happened that long ago.
So you, 17?
She's like 12 now. The child was only 2 when I divorced her.
Oh, I thought you said when she turned 18.
The day she turned 18 was when I was planning to. I couldn't even wait. I had to get the hell out.
Yeah.
I had to dump that bitch, Tom.
I don't blame you, Joey.
I own my own business. The bitch ended up ruining my business. To get out, she was trying to collect $5,000 a month in child support, court ordered. To get out, I gave her our home, valued at $500,000. She sold that, walked with $200,000.
Wow.
Took off to Oklahoma. Haven't seen or heard from her or the kids since. Just a psycho bitch.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that story, Joey. Hopefully it'll stop somebody else from doing that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Yo, Tommy, I got a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Donnie.
You need a sidekick on the broadcasting station?
No, I don't.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Janine on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How's it going?
I'm okay, Janine.
Good. I am a single mom who was in an abusive relationship, and I think that what you're saying is totally right. There is absolutely no reason to stay with an abusive person, whether it be a man or a woman. And the only reason a woman would is because you're weak and stupid, and you can't think you can make it on your own. And to have a second kid is ridiculous as well.
Oh, I agree with you. You're compounding the mistake.
Yeah, my ex tried and tried to pressure me to have a second kid, and I just couldn't even believe he wanted to. I mean, our relationship was a joke. And, but yeah, I mean, it was the best decision I ever made to not stay.
And so you're happier now.
Absolutely.
Now.
Absolutely. I have a future. My daughter has a future. You know, it was just a...
By the way, was he abusive when you met him?
Not at first. No, he was a real nice, charming guy. Everything I wanted. And then as the closer we got, once I got pregnant, you know, he just changed.
The day you got pregnant is when it changed?
Not the day, but, you know, right around there, he just kind of started showing his true colors. But yeah, I've been in therapy for a year from it, and... You know, it's really, really a difficult situation, but your kids are going to grow up to either be abused or be abusers, period.
Yeah, there's nothing good about that.
Absolutely not.
Thank you, Janine.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Appreciate the call. Will on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
I'm okay, Will.
Well, my situation was like this. My dad was very abusive with my stepmom. And what happened was he jumped and started beating up on my stepmom, and I jumped in trying to defend her, and he kicked me out of the house. I was 17 years old at the time, about to graduate from high school. And at that time, my girlfriend offered me to stay at her place. The biggest mistake was for me to move in.
Or to have a girlfriend.
Yeah, my girlfriend. Yeah, her mom allowed me.
Having a girlfriend was a mistake.
Because, yes... her mom told me I could stay there, you know, with her brother, you know, in a room. And eventually, the brother would bring his girl, and he wanted me out the room. So he told me, you know, go to my sister's room, you know, just don't do anything. Yeah, like that was going to happen. Well, I ended up getting her pregnant, and her uncles and family, they were all over me, forcing me to get married. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And one of her uncles was a police officer. He told me that if I didn't marry her, that he was going to make sure that I ended up by some gangbangers area, and I would get jumped or probably killed. So I was really afraid because I had no parents to turn to or anybody to help me out. So I did what they, you know, basically made me do. I got married. The first 3 months, I couldn't stay there, man. I was like, oh, I can't be here because she was becoming herself a bitch. And I ran into a recruiter, and the recruiter told me, hey, you want to join the Marines? I was like, yeah. So within a month, I was out of there. That was the happiest days of my life, you know. I was married. I was away from her. Every deployment that came up...
And you got married, why?
Because she ended up getting pregnant.
Yeah, so what?
And I couldn't stay right there because she was so abusive. She wanted me to do the cleaning, the cooking... everything.
Here's what I don't understand. Why did you stay there?
Because I had nowhere to go. I was 17 years old, about to graduate from high school, and basically had no money, no place to go. I had no parents.
You didn't have to marry her.
Well, the guy, the police officer, threatened he was going to make sure I ended up in some gangbangers areas or I'd get jumped, probably killed. And I joined the military, and when I joined, I volunteered to go everywhere. I mean, Japan, I was in Japan for 2 years.
So let me understand this. You couldn't stand up to your girlfriend or her friends, so instead you went to defend our country against terrorism?
I joined in 95 military, and when I went to the service, every time there was a deployment somewhere, Japan, Korea, Thailand, I would always volunteer to go. And when I came home for like a month or two, that was the worst days of every part of the year. I couldn't even be there. Every time they wanted volunteers, I would always volunteer to go. So with, like the first 8 years of marriage, I was probably home like a year because I couldn't stand it. I couldn't be home because.
Did you get divorced?
I'm working on that right now.
Pal, listen to me. This is very important. How many years you been married now?
Almost 10.
You'd better not let it get to 10.
Well, why is that, Tom?
Because in California, once you hit 10 years, you'll be paying vagina-money for the rest of your life.
You know, that really don't, to me, I wouldn't mind as long as...
You wouldn't mind? What, are you crazy?
I'm,
the rest of your life, you're 28 years old.
I'm trying to, like I'm saying...
Get the divorce now. It'll be a lot cheaper than paying her alimony forever.
Yeah, thank God I'm like...
Don't think about it. Do it.
Yes,
you file those papers now.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
You know, I tried to get a divorce once, right? And I was gone for like a year. When I wasn't here to sign the paperwork and all this crap. So, she was so mean that she ended up ruining my other relationship that I was having.
Pal, forget about other relationships. You don't need another relationship right now. You need a divorce now. So, right now. I'm not kidding.
Wow. But
now.
How long does it take for a divorce to actually get...
Look, all you have to do is file the papers. Whenever the divorce is final, doesn't matter. You file the papers before your 10th anniversary. Don't wait.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. Do you have an attorney?
Nope.
Why not? How are you getting a divorce if you don't have an attorney? You're not working on anything.
They have places over here where you just file paperwork and they...
Pal, get an attorney.
Yeah, well, I'm a student right now, my senior year right now at a university.
I don't care. You know, let's put it this way. How much do you think it's going to cost? What do you think it's going to cost more, divorce or paying 70 years of child support and alimony? Or 70 years of alimony?
Wow.
How old is she?
28.
All right, so she's going to live at least another 50 years.
Damn.
You know what 50 years is?
That's like more than $1 million.
That's 600 months of alimony.
Wow.
What is going to cost more? A lawyer or alimony?
Alimony.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't care how much it costs. You do it.
Well, I listened to your show. I just started listening like a month ago, and I agree with a lot of things that you say. Wow. I have become addicted to your show. I mean, I listen from the time you go on to, like, the time I go to class. Right now, I'm about to go to class. And I agree with a lot of the things you say in your show, and I appreciate...
Well, since you agree with a lot of the things I say, listen to what I'm telling you. Tomorrow, you get a family law attorney. You make an appointment. You go in. You pay him the retainer. And you get a divorce now.
I will do that, I promise.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
I'm just glad I would have. I would hope I had someone in my family like you, you know. But no one would help me out. But like the guy that called earlier today, he said you like his dad, and I was laughing because the things you said, I wish we had a parent like you would tell me, hey, don't do it. Slap me upside the head.
lot of guys feel that way. I'm kicking your ass right now, like your dad ought to.
Yeah, but he'd rather hit older women than actually, straighten me out,
Well, I'm straightening you out, but you promise me you're getting an attorney tomorrow. You know how to find an attorney?
Yes, I do. Yes, definitely, I do.
Right.
I have yellow pages and everything.
All right, family law.
Family law.
Right. And you make that appointment for as soon as possible.
All right, Tom.
Don't forget, Will.
No, I won't.
You'll remember me if you're paying alimony forever. Do you know how long forever is, Will?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Forever?
Yeah.
Just think, what do you think your next wife will think when you're 35 or 40 and still paying alimony to some bitch?
I will stay single, that's for sure.
What do you think your next girlfriend will think about that?
Oh, she will be pissed.
Aye.
My ex
well, why are you going to let that happen?
My ex-girlfriend, she's a doctor, and she told me the same thing, just do it. And when I was about to do it, my wife, she trapped me. She told me, hey, your son is sick. And I was like, what's wrong with him?
Al, you just go to the attorney and let him handle it. And get out of that house.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Out.
Out.
Out. I'm not kidding.
No, I understand.
Do you have any friends?
Well, yeah, now I got money, and friends.
All right, get out. You're not living with you. You're living with her now?
Yeah.
Why?
My son.
You'll get visitation when you negotiate the divorce.
You know what? The reason why I stayed was because I grew up without parents until I was old, and that kind of.
Look how you repeated the process here.
Yeah, that's what.
You just repeated history here, didn't you?
Yeah. She even made me get out of the military. I had the career going and everything.
Pal, you're obviously pussy whipped.
That's what my friends told me.
Well, your friends, I've known you for 8 minutes and 54 seconds, and I know you as well as your friends do already. Right?
I never had a ass whoop like this one before.
Pal, you can't say that word on the radio. Come on, you said it 4 times now.
I'm sorry.
And you know it, too.
Well, thank you, Tom.
I'm here to help.
Tom Leykis. 100 Tom.
People fantasize about 14 and 15 and 16-year-old girls all the time. What are you going to do? Put them all in prison? Put everybody up to a lie detector test? Ask people if they fantasize about the girl across the street when she wears a thong bikini? You're going to put these people in prison? What are you talking about?
But where do you draw the line?
I drew the line for you, you idiot! Get off the phone.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Brandon, hello. Brandon, hello.
Can you hear me, Tom?
Yes.
Okay. First-time listener, my man. Good show.
Thank you.
So I want to go back to this, when you were tossing off all the abortions. I don't have a problem with that. But you said you physically consent to a woman. You tell a girl that you will not be a parent if she decides to have a child, if you, by accident, get pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, she certainly has the legal right to say, even though I said I'd have an abortion, I'm not having one. And therefore, you're going to pay. Well, she can make me pay, but she can't make me be a parent.
But now, this is my problem with that. I mean, isn't it? I mean, no matter what, you are a parent. You may not want to be.
I don't have to act in the role of a parent. I am biologically a parent because I've been blackmailed into it.
Well, I mean, not really, because you did her. And you.
If she says to me, if I get pregnant, I'll have an abortion, we have an implied agreement.
Okay, well, that's true.
That's the agreement.
But so you are biologically a parent.
That doesn't matter. Again, I will live up to whatever legal obligations I have in the event that happens.
Right. Well, so, okay, like I was thinking, what if the kid gets older, and he comes and you said you don't want to be that, you don't want to have a glorious reunion with this child.
Never going to happen.
Now, what if he comes and finds you and, steps on his front door and says, hey, be my dad or I'm going to kill myself?
Again, I will not open the door. We will not have that conversation.
So, he can get to you, though. It's not like you wouldn't have to.
Again, all I have to do is walk the other way, get in my limo, and ride off.
And so it's not going to affect you if he does, inflict harm on himself.
Not my problem.
I love it, Tom. That's good. That's what I wanted to hear, I guess.
Just being honest.
Hey, that's, I guess I don't know what that is. That's strong will, I guess.
Yes, it is.
You're looking out for number one, huh, Tom?
You bet.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM, as opposed to the book by Tawana Brawley that was called Looking Out for Number 2. You may remember that one. This is Rochelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Rochelle.
I am in Dallas, Texas right now. I am about to turn 29, and about 5 years ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life and got pregnant by kind of a deadbeat dad. We decided, we were engaged to be married. We decided to keep the baby. We lived together for a couple of years until she was about 18 months old, and then he fell in love with my best friend. They are now married.
What a friend.
What a friend. But 2 months before we were to get married, we decided to split up because we absolutely hated each other. We absolutely hated each other, liked nothing about each other. Now we have it's it's a very strange relationship. We still don't really like each other, but we would never do anything hateful to each other for the sake of our child. And if we had stayed together, it probably would have been very abusive. It would have just been a horrible...
Why you had a baby, I still don't understand. Why you allowed yourself to get knocked up, I really don't understand.
The Tom Leykis Show.